Hey hockey fans, I'm Monica McKenzie, and joining me to talk about the women's D1 season so far is Rhett McGibbon. So 2 weekends ago, we saw them have a huge weekend against Adrian. They were ranked number 1 at the time. Liberty was ranked 5th. Huge upset weekend for them. Talk a little bit about why things are clicking for them at this point.
I think their best players right now are their best players. You know, Burrell scored the OT winner. Carrie Jickling had a good weekend. The team's starting to gel together. So when your top-end players come to play like they did that weekend, I'm not saying they haven't done it the rest of the season, but like in prominent moments like that, they came through in the clutch, your team will do well, and Liberty did well that weekend.
And looking at the league overall, quite a few teams have been ranked number 1 so far, more than we've seen in previous seasons. Lots of jumping around. Liberty was 5th, now they're ranked number 1 again. How does that present a challenge for Liberty when they're heading into weekends with teams that they can't really predict what they're going to come out and see?
Any given night, you don't have a night off. Once again, you know, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the other divisions of the men's group and women's as well. You don't really have a night off there when you're talking about the top 8 to 10 teams in the ACHA. Any team can beat one another, so you really have to bring your A game each and every single night that you're out there playing. Otherwise, you know, you could drop down the rankings with a loss that is considered bad, even though it may not be.
It's been a bit of a bumpy season for the girls so far, a few ups and downs. So how do they keep things moving forward now that they saw that success against Adrian?
Hey, it's a snowball effect, right? You know, you start to get a little bit of a belief. You're like, hey, we knocked off number 1. That's huge for our momentum, our confidence within ourselves. And, you know, the new girls on the team, you know, they didn't have I'd say a ton of turnover last year, but you brought in some depth, you know, and they're just getting adjusted to what college life is like at Liberty and just playing Liberty hockey. So they start to get that confidence, belief that, hey, we knocked off the number 1 team. We can be number 1. So as they move forward, all that starts to gel. They'll be in good shape. It'll snowball.
Now that they have that number 1 ranking once again, they have that target on their back again.
Yeah.
They're playing Lindenwood Belleville, who's ranked number 7 this weekend. What's their focus heading into this weekend for them?
I think it's just playing a really solid but simple home road game. You know, it's really easy at Liberty to try to make things too complex, but just play your style of play. And the coaching staff, they have what they like to do. They've laid it out. If the girls execute it and do it to the best of their ability, they'll be in great shape. This, you know, it's hard to play at Liberty. We talked about this before. You know, everybody loves coming to Liberty. You got the lights, you got the camera, everything is, you know, focused on them. Mom and pop are watching back home. So the opposition has a little bit of extra motivation, but you have to dig within yourself to kind of get that same feeling. You know, you get used to it playing here at the comfy confines of the Lehigh Ice Center, but you got to dig deeper and get a little bit of extra motivation now that you're number 1, because like you said, everybody's coming for you.
Well, as always, thanks for joining me, Rhett.
Yeah, my pleasure.